Good afternoon. I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching. As always, it is appreciated. We've had a Labour MP on the TV today, and he's been accusing Nigel Farage and anybody who's against the fine print on the Online Safety Act that's passed into application in the past week as defending sex offenders. That's a really, really dumb thing to say, and that's a really, really, really low resolution take. And I'm going to go through some of the finer points in a minute or two. But first things first, let's just hear it from the horse's mouth. This is Labour MP, a bit of a midwit, and he is a big tool, in my opinion. So let's just play the clip.
Is already saying that he's going to overturn these laws. So, we have people out there who are extreme pornographers, peddling hate, peddling violence. Nigel Farage is on their side. Make no mistake about it, if people like Jimmy Savile were alive today, he'd be perpetrating his crimes online.
Not true. He did it in plain sight. Many in the establishment knew what he was doing and chose to turn a blind eye. Let's be clear. The people that will do it, that have the power and the influence, will do it. And they'll do it in public view because they have that power and influence.
And Nigel Farage is saying that he's on their side.
I'm sorry.
Not the side of children who are...
I'm going to ask you to clarify. Do you honestly think to say Nigel Farage is on Jimmy Savile's side?
When it comes to online activity, we have seen unfettered access of adults to children via social media. When we put in the age verification, it stops strange adults getting in touch with children. So make no mistake.
This is a major leap. You're going to stick to the fact that you said that Nigel Farage is on Jimmy Savile's side.
Nigel Farage is on the side of turning the clock back to the time when strange adults, strangers, can get in touch via messaging apps with children.
Turn the clock back to last week. To last week. When this bill came in. To last week. Yeah, some people are not very happy about the small print in the bill. I'm one of them, and we'll get into that in a minute. Don't play dumb and don't try to lie because you don't look very convincing.
We have now asked to age verify the age in which people can have access to online content so we can protect children from unwanted, dangerous content and also those messaging services where people can get access directly to it. Nigel Farage wants to turn the clock right back when all of that, I have absolutely no doubt about it, people are perpetrating more crime online, more danger to children online, and Nigel Farage has said he wants to overturn every single one of the laws that keeps children safe in our country.
No, he didn't. Not at all. It's one specific act of Parliament that only came into effect last week. You're being dishonest, disingenuous, and you're having a bad faith argument because you've not got a leg to stand on in that particular point. Let's look at this next image now, which I'm going to bring up now. Oh yeah, Dan Hodges has confirmed that 10 Downing Street is standing by Peter Kyle on his Savile comments 100%. We are standing by Peter and what he says, a source tells me. We're going to get into that in a minute or so, but the very, very, very thin ice here. There's many ways that the establishment and specifically the Labour Party are not on the side of children. Why didn't they vote for the grooming gang inquiry? Why didn't they do that? Why didn't they prosecute Jimmy Savile when he was committing his crimes? I wonder why that was. Now, I made a video last week regarding the particulars of this bill, the Online Safety Act, and the fact that it's over 500 pages long, and despite the cliff-noted version that the MPs probably voted on, they haven't scrutinised the bill, and they've waved it through because the whips have advised them to do so. There's a lot of surprises in this bill that many of the public would be surprised at. I'm going to play this clip from my MP. She was on GB News last night about it, and I'll give you a broader context on some of the points I was making.
This act, Patrick, is nothing more than censorship and surveillance through the back door. It's called an Online Safety Act, and most people would think, well, what's wrong with that? That sounds good and sensible. But the fact is, what's hidden in the small print is nothing short of quashing our democratic right to free speech. So there's two particular areas of the Act which should be looked at. The first is Section 44. That gives one person, the Secretary of State, the right to direct Ofcom to what it wants, to what the Secretary of State wants to be censored. The second thing...
So no parliamentary oversight or scrutiny. The Secretary of State will be able to unilaterally go to Ofcom, the media regulator, and tell them and instruct them what to censor and who to go after online in terms of what content is and isn't allowed. Where's the democratic accountability for that? Was this in Labour's manifesto when they went to the public last year in the election? Was it in the Tories' manifesto in 2019? Was it? Hell, it wasn't at all. It's all about controlling narratives, and it's all about censoring and limiting what's available to be discussed in the public square. I've made this argument previously and I'll continue to make it. They were all for free speech before the internet. They were all for free speech before you could amplify your message, before you could amplify your own opinion, and you could get people on your wavelength, and you could develop communities and support each other and actually build a political movement or force going forward. They were all for the Online Safety Act is all about preserving the status quo. It's got nothing to do with protecting children. That may be what it says on the tin, but it's all about coercion and control. What about their own MPs? You may want to look at their own MPs in a little bit more detail. Like this chap here, Ivor Kaplan, alright. The MP that's been dishing and bashing Farage is buddies with him, if you look here, in photos with him. Now this guy allegedly is involved in some pretty dodgy things with children. They may want to vet their MPs a little bit closely before, or a little bit more closely before they come after Joe Public, concerned with their political opinions, in my view. As I say, that's just my opinion. Your mileage may vary on that point. Back to my MP.
That we need to look out for is Section 179, which means that social media companies, if they're not policing this act and looking for anything that may cause some kind of mental, psychological harm...
Well, that's it. Mental or psychological harm, that's completely subjective. There's no objective measure for that. So all the social media company needs is a complaint of either an MP, an official, or even a member of Joe Public to say, I feel threatened, I feel unsafe, I feel that this is harming me. And you've got no way to measure that. It's essentially hurt feelings. And if they don't take your post down, if they don't take your media post down, then they're going to get fined by the government.
Undefined, so that definition is subjective, then they will get potentially fined 10% of their global turnover. So there are two very, very important parts of this act that people won't know about. And you know what? I agree with everything that you heard there from Zia Youssef.
Okay.
This does nothing to protect children.
There were more effective and there were quicker ways to protect children. Okay, cleaning out parliaments, for example, would be an example of that. That's just my opinion. As always, your mileage may vary on that point. Now, if you think I'm overreacting here, remember in this Online Safety Act, there's clauses that say that the state, the Crown, the media, whoever is going to be monitoring this online, they will be monitoring anti-migrant information. Excuse me. And illegal migration information. So say, for example, you're concerned about the demographic change in the country. You're concerned about the level of legal and illegal migration. Well, you could be deemed an extremist. It's already happening with the migrants in the Republic of Ireland, which is our closest geographical neighbour. Let's see what they think.
People who are like Irish people, they are very supportive of the people who are contributing in this country, whether it's from migrant backgrounds or whether people are supportive. It's just a small part of the extremists, I would say, who are trying to spread hate with the ideologies that they have.
Again, that word again, hate. Who defines what's hateful? Who defines what isn't hateful? Alright? There's no objective measure. And then we're going to get this lady who I'm gonna be presuming, by the way she speaks, that she's not a native to the British Isles. She gets to go on a platform and define to us, the native British and Irish population, what is and isn't acceptable. No, I'm not having that.
And this is something that we should not allow.
Yeah, we should. We should definitely allow it, and the idea or the notion it could annoy you is the true definition of an added perk.
Us, and this should not be allowed in our country. What needs to be done is that the youth who are basically they get fueled with this kind of these things on the social media.
Here's the thing as well. How insulting, how degrading, and how nonsensical is it, and arrogance, that she thinks that any person wouldn't be able to form their own opinion, that they must be getting influenced online, they must be getting told what to think. Nobody makes my opinions and choices but me. I believe in the individual. Only people that believe in a collective would believe your theory. And what is the collective? It's what the communists want. No, I'm all about individual freedoms and liberty. So no, your whole theory there just falls flat on its own arse. Anyway, continue, sweetheart. Let's see what else you've got to say.
That needs to be controlled.
Control. No, you need to be controlled. You need to be censored. You need to be removed.
And they need proper education about...
Do you mean a re-education? Do you mean they need to be taught what to think, not how to think?
How the diversity is helping in the economy of the...
The most important thing in the country is not the economy. That's way, way down the list. The economy is important to the people that profit from the economy. If the economy is not working for you and your family, then the economy is not important. Get it right. The people that migration helps both in the Republic of Ireland and the United Kingdom are the people that profit from mass migration. That's not everybody, and it's certainly not Joe Public.
Country. This is where, the people who are trying to spread the hate-fueled violence and stuff, they would get an answer that it's not. Ireland has always been a welcoming country.
No, it hasn't. Just ask the English. It's not always been welcoming. Now, that's the opinion of this foreign lady. She thinks that if you've got any negative opinions on migration, that's hate speech, and that needs to be controlled and regulated. And there we have it from the horse's mouth. It's not about protecting children. It's not about protecting your rights and your safety. It's about assuming the worst, making sure that you're only allowed to speak within the permitted paradigm. And if you're not speaking within that very narrow permitted paradigm, then you need to be shut down. You need to be defunded. You need your platform shut down. And in extreme cases, or not so extreme cases, you deserve to go to prison and lose your liberty. They need to be pushed back on. The globalists in every single country need to be pushed back on. This is unacceptable. I don't consent. I do not agree. This is an outrage. You can't have an open discourse if you're shutting people down because you don't like what they say. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, give me a like and subscribe. As always, I appreciate your time. You have a good day. I'll see you in the next one.